Thank you for joining us on the special edition of TVC Breakfast. Now, we'll still be looking at the President's New Year Day speech. And joining me to look at that is CEO CKN News, Chris Kaindengwadu, as well as Sheson Kwade, Chartered Accountant and Public Affairs Analyst. Good morning. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
It's been over a year that I see you last.
Yes, it's been a year. I saw you last year. Last year, yes.
It's nice to see you again in 2021.
2021, interesting. Yes. Were you able to go for the crossover night?
Well, I couldn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't. I just tried to, as much as possible, obey the COVID
protocols.
And,
right.
We had that in the family house, so I think that's good enough.
Same is obtainable.
Yeah.
We had it at home. And quite pathetic that some had their New Year prayers and stuff just on the road. It was difficult last night, all the way from Bega Air to Majuro access. People were there all the way from 12 midnight to like 5, 6 this morning to tell you how terrible it was. People were rushing them to celebrate with their family, but they were just held on the road because of an accident on the road.
The FRC just sent out an advisory notice few minutes ago that a gas tanker, fell on the road just by MFM. And there's advice on Nigerians to seek alternative routes while effort is being made to remove the vehicle. Yeah,
this issue of tanker falling, it has become really worrisome over time, because even last year we witnessed that on a regular, almost every week.
Exactly.
All right, we also have joining us via Skype in-house analyst Obani Akinwale. Good morning, Happy New Year. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Nice seeing your face in the new year.
Absolutely. I saw you last year as well. All right. Let me begin with you, Obani. I know you listened to the President's speech. Talk to us about what you make of the speech, especially the high point for you.
For me, without being too immodest, I am not too impressed with the speech. And I am not too surprised, because I have always had my reservation on who are those people that write speech for Mr. President. The speeches are never, ever vibrant. The spirits are not reassuring. They are just regular rhetorics. They have not told us what they plan to do or how they plan to do it. What we just usually have is we have. But if we look at the ratio in terms of how Nigeria degenerated in terms of security, in terms of economy, in terms of unemployment, in terms of even governance, complaints about nepotism, the speech is not reassuring in any way. Taking us memory lane back to 1960 to 61-year-old, some of us that are junior to us, Brazil, India, have become a developed nation. A few days ago, we know that our current debt is about 32-point-something trillion naira. We know that we are still going to do more borrowing. We know that the economy is crumbling day in, day out. We know the level of insecurity is not in there. We know that Lagos Ibadan has been there for almost about 20 years, not being completed. Yes, there are a few more successes that were recorded in this tenure. The president was able to put on the rail. The airports are getting gradual shape back. But nonetheless, is this what we deserve as a nation? You ask yourself again that you as a person, what do you take home to the family in terms of what the president has said today that is going to give us a better tomorrow? So for me, the speechwriter for president is not doing a great job. I keep saying this. There are better ways of reassuring Nigeria. Yes, businesses have lost their money during the NSAS protest. People are locked down during COVID. What are the measures except the rhetoric we have that obey strict compliance, obey this strict compliance? How do we ensure this happens? The party of Mr. President is planning to do registration in January. The main issue is that you ask people to stay out of COVID, yet you insist that by February you are going to lock down. You have a population of 200 million, and you cannot even account for them. Our borders still remain porous. Food are not easily get by for the poor man in the villages. The transportation sector is not to write about. So these are things that government will tell us that, for example, in 2021, by first quarter of 2021, I'm going to deliver Lagos by the express road. In 2021, we are going to put a ban on importation because Dangote refinery and other modular refinery will come upstream. In 2021, for example, the American will deliver all our Tucano helicopters and what have you.
Right.
And I can assure you that the bandits will be rooted out. So these are some of the things that we
you expected. All right, let me bring it back to the studio now, and let me begin with Sheson. You heard Obani, he says the speech was not reassuring. But do you think the president harped on key issues? Because the statement cannot, contain everything. We all know that. But were those issues he harped on key for Nigerians, such that it could bring about that reassurance Obani was talking about? Yeah,
left for me, some of those things are just highlighting the topic. And when you look at the content, those days when we write the exams, you discover that the guy is not having connection between the body of the ether and the ether itself. Talked about security. Like Obani said, what are the measures that this administration is putting in place? We just spoke about how people could not get to their destination last night. And do you know what that implies? Definitely several people would have been robbed on that road just last night. Is to tell you of the level of insecurity. There is, when I listened to it, I was sharing with CKN before we came in and said, it's as good as not just having the speech itself. Really? Because it has become a normal thing. Not because there is nothing inspiring in it. We don't have a definite thing to say, okay, business owner, this is part of the gains that you are expected to have in the first quarter. In terms of security, I heard about the Kankara. Can we have preventive measures? These are some of the things we've been able to... He
spoke about preventive measures.
He said, we are going to. We don't want, we are going to. Definite. Let's have a definite thing. Issues like every school is going to be monitored by security, this thing. We are going to install, this is the technology world. We are going to install CCTV to monitor activities in a certain coverage area. These are some of the things that is expected of us, not just coming to we plan to do this, we plan to do this. All this plan, we have not seen the actualization of it year in, year out. All we hear is our people, we are sorry, we are working. Enough of we are trying to do it. Let's see the actual thing that is being done, that everybody will, without even you coming on here to tell us these are achievements, every eye will see that these are some of the things. See, it's been, when you talk of transportation that is expected to aid the economic activities, we are failed. We are failed. If we practically say government, this administration brought in the rail system, fine. How much of value has that actually contributed to our economy?
Right.
It has not done so much thing. If we have done that, the rail system by now should be transporting the fuel, rather than we having all this tanker breaking down. Last year, I was looking at your analysis here of over 13 tankers got bombed just on this Kara or $10 away. And you know the number of lives we lost. These are some of the areas that we could say in the first quarter, we are going to reduce drastically the number of tankers that moves on the road, so that can aid our productivity. People spend hours at the federal level, at the state level. These people are not really encouraging the citizen. All we could do for ourselves is to just reassure ourselves that life is there for us to move on, not on the part of the government reassuring us that we have a better future.
All right, let me get CKN's perspective, perhaps. Are you aligning yourself with them as well, that this speech is not as reassuring?
Well, looking at the president speaking, I felt so bad for him.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
To me, he looks like somebody that's overwhelmed by the job. And somebody who seems a bit lacking in capacity to be able to deliver on promises. The speech, to me, there's nothing inspiring there. It's something we've had over and over again since the beginning of this regime. I just think that what they do is just go to the laptop, just change some words. The laptop and the archive, change some words and just and give the president to read. We need specifics. Yes, there are some headlinings: security, economy, power, COVID-19, and the rest of them. When you look back at what we have achieved in the past 5 years under President Muhammadu Buhari, so much is expected. In fact, he raised the hope so high in 2015 that I think that he caused the problem for himself.
Right?
Yes, he caused the problem for himself because he raised the hope so high that the expectation was so high among Nigerians after over 16 years of PDP and the rest of them. So when you raise the bar so high, in terms of performance and deliveries, you are not delivering. People tend to hold you on your words, and that in itself becomes a problem for you. So that is the problem the president is battling now. Try to achieve, perform, and deliver on the promises he made. Then, added to that is some of the issues that is coming up, COVID and the rest of them. Economy is not improving. So you have to put up your thinking cap to look for alternative and ways and dynamic ways of bringing the economy to a position where you can be able to also deliver. So the life of the citizens within the past 5 years is nothing to write home about. The take-home pay cannot take you to a bus stop. Right. It cannot take you to the bus stop, talk less of taking you home. So that is so an average Nigerian like me, what I'm trying to see is that, is there anything new that the president is going to do in 2021 that is good? All of us agree that 2020 was a year like no other. Right. Definitely. It was a year like no other. None of us expected what happened. But even within that, some countries are going over and above that. They are taking themselves away from, look at what is happening in the United States. In as much as we're not comparing ourselves in the United States, President Trump, they approved $600. The man said, we are going, let us give them $2,000 each, every American. We are not saying the president should give us $20,000 each. Or what we are saying is that even with the little resources we have, how has that impacted on the life of Nigerians? Then let's move to the most critical area, education. In the past 9 months or thereabout, students in universities have strike. I was thinking that the president is going to talk about, as a father of the nation, I was expecting that no matter what, we are going to engage, make sure that what happened in the past 9 months will not repeat itself. If you understand, you are assuring students, you are assuring parents. Then, in the area of security, he was talking, oh, we were able to take school. Who wants to hear that? If you have done what you're supposed to do, it shouldn't have happened. So that is why I agree with my colleague who said that the speech writers, the president didn't write the speech. The president, all he has been saying, everything that you see, the president said, it was not written by him. It was written by speech writers and aides, and given to the man, and he just sat down and read it. And that is it. You'll be surprised that even some of the things that he himself is talking about, he might not even have a total grasp of it. Then we're looking at security. Over the years, people have been saying these chief executives of the security agencies need to be changed. He touched on it. He talked on reorganizing security apparatus. Let me reorganize it. How long is it going to take us? How long? And it's only in this country that you hear, even the military itself came out and say, oh, we are strategizing for this. It is not within you to come around and tell your opponent that you are about to do that and that. Okay. So those are the issues that are so, for me, the president has not given us hope, but that does not necessarily mean that we should not be hopeful in 2021. All right, let's leave it here for now. We'll come back to this speech, but we need to take a break and return with more. Stay with us.